Good morning. It is just Joy Randall, the beauty influencer. And it has been a while. Good morning. Good morning. It's been a while from Tea and Wild Thoughts. Life has been happening. So, if you are, what's up, Taisha? If you have seen Tea and Wild Thoughts before, you know that I'm going to kind of get my vibe together. And it has been a busy morning already. Some of you may know that I'm a full-time caregiver for my father, who is blind. And, just got to make sure Dad is straight, get his coffee going, the whole nine. So, yeah. And he was sick for a couple weeks, and then I had things going on with Sidewalk Talk in Charlotte and just different projects. So, life had been happening. So sometimes we plan, and shit just don't go down like that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, my love. Thank you. Peace to you as well. So a little Palo Santo, which you can also get inside my energy clearing kits. The link in my bio. I don't have my little string tied up, but you get a bunch of good energy clearing things. Palo Santo, sage smudge stick, got the pink Himalayan salt in the bottom. You got a sampler of my spiritual blend oil in there. And on my Just Joy Randall page, I'll be doing videos of how to use everything and all that good stuff. So make sure you add that. So anywho, just wanted to get back connected with y'all, see what's good, share some wild thoughts. And I have been watching a show called Beyond the Pole. I don't know if any of you have seen this. And it's kind of like a reality show, but I kind of look at it like a bit of a documentary series. Good morning. Has anybody seen Beyond the Pole? Anybody that's on here? No? Okay. Well, it's about strippers. Ladies in the adult industry. And kind of giving their real deal. And my tea is just very hot. You haven't seen it yet. Well, I don't even know what network it's on. But I have a Fire Stick, so I just, went and searched it and then found it. They give you like a 7-day free trial, so we doing that. So anywho, and my tea is like super hot this morning. I didn't even have time to prepare it before we got started, so. But it's delicious, and I'll tell you about that later. So anywho, Beyond the Pole, right? And it just really got me to thinking about these social constructs, women and their own sexuality, their freedom, what some women, I don't want to say, because and that's the thing, they have a mixture of the women on there. Not everybody is particularly in a desperate situation where that's just what they had to do. I mean, we all have struggles, and we've all made choices about what we choose to do to make money. And so I am a person, if you know me, like, I am very spiritual, but I also think that spirituality doesn't have to look a certain way. I do understand that some things can get distracting from the message, but it's up to us as individuals to stay tuned into the message. To me, that starts to speak more about an individual's character, versus, what they think, about this person speaks more about them than what this person is doing in particular. Like the Bible says that we're not supposed to judge. That's just not our job. Not our job at all. So there's a young lady on this show who She has two degrees. She also says that she lives a double life, and that, you know, if her father understood what she was doing, that he would flip. He would just go crazy. And she also says, you know, her father doesn't really watch TV, XYZ. And so I brought up a question because I'm going to connect all this to, at the end of the day, divinity. Okay? I was talking to my father the other day about, you know, really thinking about gender. And not gender in terms of, you know, gay or straight, but gender in terms of just specifically the roles that we play. And when I was thinking about what makes men masculine, you know, what really makes it's all surrounded by freedom to choose. And so men naturally have, that's what they're always, I feel, and this is just my perspective. Again, I'm just sharing my wild thoughts. But men always, they protect their right to choose. When we look at what's going on with the government, you know, everything in America has been shaped, let's be real, by white men's ability to choose. They have always been able to choose whether what black people could do and what women could do, right? They get to set the tone. When it comes to black men, in my personal demographic and in our society, you know, women tend to feel validated by when a man chooses them, right? A man, you know, if he can't choose if a black man can't go out and choose what he wants to do in the world, he doesn't feel like he naturally has that right, then he's going to protect that in his own household, right? So it's all about the ability and the freedom to choose. Women, on the other hand, what makes us feminine, or it's we don't, like, if we decide to have children, if we decide to get married, that naturally limits our choices. And I personally, from what I've observed and seen and experienced, I don't think that men believe that, well, I can't say that wholeheartedly because me and my man have had this conversation, but they go into it knowing, they go into marriages knowing that they're still going to have environments where they still get to choose. Women, on the other hand, tend to get stuck at home, you know, or with children, and just all the choices that we have, the freedom that we have to choose starts to become more and more limited. And even if a woman, good morning, even if a woman decides after she's married and has children to go out and make a choice that's free, that doesn't include her family, the children, the man in her life, then all of a sudden, you know, she's this terrible person. Whereas if a man goes out and he's in the structure of a marriage and he has children, then he's automatically expected to choose. And so when I'm looking at this show, Beyond the Pole, it's just interesting to see that these women, to me, what I see is the fact that they are playing with the social construct of choices, and the fact that men are always going to, regardless of their marriages, regardless of them having children, they can always kind of come into these environments and choose them. And so we as women tend to look at women like that, you know, she nasty, but the reality is, I feel like men are constantly making choices like this. This world exists whether we want to acknowledge it, be conscious of it, or not. And these women have used their ability to be desirable, to get what they want out of life. And then I find it really interesting that, you know, you find women like, you see a show like this and you judge these women, but then you have Cardi B, who, you know, is now a rapper, is now a musician, but then you glorify that. So sometimes I think women are just fucking confused, man. Like, they are, I think women respect and enjoy and love the fantasy, just like men do on some levels, of the fact that, you know, this girl gets to, she doesn't have to, you know, be stuck at home, or she doesn't, you know, she has her right to choose. It's really not about the type of choices. It's the freedom and the ability to do so. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. And, you know, for a long time, I felt, before I lived with my father and started really seeing the way men think, and of course, it's, you know, I definitely thought, don't get me wrong, I respect the hell out of my father. He's a great man. He's a brilliant man. But he's a man. You know what I mean? Like, he's still totally a dude. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to kind of have this experience with him before I get into a marriage or with children. Because, you know, it's, good morning. It just allows me to see the reality of things, and I'm a person who needs to deal with the reality. My father is still a man. He's still very much a man. And my parents were divorced all growing up. And that's the thing. He chose to separate. Well, both of my parents did. But just now, in my late 30s, is he dealing with the experience of having his child in the home 24/7. You know, he hadn't even had to deal with the reality of what that feels like for so long, you know. And so I just think that masculinity, that social construct, is really formed around the ability to choose. And so what we are seeing, even more so now in our society, is like everything is just shifting and changing. Everything is shifting and changing. We have freedom right here online, you know, to share with people who are outside of our local communities. We have freedom, and that freedom belongs to everybody. You know, it's in the palm of our hand. It belongs to men, women, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. And so now we all have a voice. We all have the ability to share our stories and every side of the story and kind of break down the stigmas. And everything is shifting and changing. And so, you know, judgment is just about trying to kind of keep people in those boundaries, but we're busting them up all the time. So you're starting to see more women who are intelligent and beautiful and sexually free, and they may be wives and mothers at the same time. You know, I follow people who do yoga, and she's a mom. She does yoga naked, you know, like, and that doesn't make me desire her. That makes me respect the hell out of her, because she can really break down and bust through the social constructs and not really worry about what other people think, you know, about what she's doing. I am always an advocate for the individual. I truly believe that we should think for ourselves and we should make decisions for ourselves, and because nobody else has to deal with the results of our choices but us. at the end of the day. Yes, we live around people but we're in this world not attached, you know. We are here and we can influence. We can shift things ourselves. We can shift the vibrations. We can shift the thoughts and, you know, introduce people to the things that we love and parts of ourselves and that may not be socially accepted. We'll just say that. So that's why you see such a mixture of things that I tend to post, because I don't believe that just to be spiritual, you know, you have to be in this lane. And I don't believe that, you know, to be a woman, you have to be in this lane. And why? You know, like, I'm not here to subscribe to what you think. I'm here to be myself. And hopefully that frees someone else. That's a freedom to choose, you know, like, hopefully that frees someone else up to be themselves. So I'm always an advocate for self-development. And, you know, again, just kind of circling back, just a quick thought that I'm having about, good morning, a quick thought that I'm having about, you know, men and strip clubs and that whole thing. You know, just the other day, like literally, I was here where I live in this little country town. And I am, you know, there's this man. I come in there all the time to get fish dinners for my father, right? There's this older man who's in there. He's, oh, get her a sweet tea. I mean, he seems like this nice country dude. I mean, I'm associating him with my dad, okay? And he would always say, get her a sweet tea. Get her a sweet tea. And I'm like, you know, that's really nice of him. That's so nice. And he comes over. There wasn't a lot of people in the restaurant that day. I'm sitting here and I'm waiting on my food. And I mean, looking like doo-doo. Like, looking like crap, right? And eventually he comes over and he's like, hey, you know, like, if you don't have anything to do sometimes, you know, put my number in your phone. Put my number in your phone. And I laughed at first. Like, I literally laughed. He's like, yeah, you know, call me sometimes. You don't really have anything to do. This man is clearly in his 60s. And if I were, now that's the difference between me and, you know, I don't judge women that will choose to strip or choose to, but I have no desire to, I don't have no desire to hang out with nobody my daddy's age. I don't have no desire to kick it. I don't have no desire to take his money or nothing, but it's just funny to me that, you know, even at his age, good morning, he felt like I was an option to him. And how many, you know, I tend to believe that once you experience one thing with one person, there's always 10 to 20 more people who think like that person. And he wasn't wrong, you know, but at the end of the day, it was just so interesting to me that he genuinely felt like I had no idea that you getting me a sweet tea, which I'm thinking you're looking at me like, oh, she's kind of like my daughter's age. It's like, no, you would like kick it to me. That's actually hilarious. And I don't know. I mean, on the male side, if that happens where older women just feel like you're an option, or, you know, I don't know. But that shit is weird. That shit is weird. So, you know, I guess that never changes. But I try to change that for myself. That I am a woman who enjoys my freedom of choice. I don't particularly subscribe to all the social constructs. In fact, I question them a lot. Um, those things just don't interest me. They just don't interest me. And I do watch shows like Beyond the Pole. Um, and I tend to recommend, like, when I'm talking to women and I'm talking to different people, you know, I've spoken on this before, that, you know, I've watched documentaries like Iceberg Slim, and, you know, even with the whole R. Kelly thing, it's like, once you understand these lifestyles, and, like, don't try not to judge them. Like, understand what it's about, where these people are coming from, like, where their mentality is, because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, this stuff exists. And, you know, these women make a lot of money from time to time providing fantasies that men want. You know, it's so surprising to me at times that there are women who, you know, when I've talked about, like, oh, you don't wear lingerie for your man? Like, oh no, oh my gosh, I'd be so scared to do that. It's like, trust me, 9 times out of 10, your man got a nasty side to him. Just do. I believe they just do. And there's parts of them that desire, you know, why wouldn't you want to become that fantasy for him? I know I do. I'm sorry. I mean, and that's not like, it's not a me against her kind of thing. It's just that, you know, you just develop other parts of yourself. Is sometimes, I guess, people don't want to look into, you know, what they would consider darker parts of themselves, because maybe they feel like, I don't know. I'm always willing to explore, you know, my thoughts on things, and why does that challenge me? Why does that make me feel like I'm a bad person? Or, because I'm not, at the end of the day. None of those things change the way God made me. Nothing I desire here. Now I may have to think about it. I may have to choose the way I respond to it. But me wanting to wear lingerie for my dude, or take a sexy picture, or doesn't change the way God loves me. And it damn sure don't give nobody else a right to judge me or anyone else. So that's another reason why I try to learn about people and learn, you know, what's really going on in their head, what makes them the way they are, what's their background. I'm a naturally introspective person, and good morning. Naturally introspective, and I just kind of wish, you know, we have so much access to so many things now, so much information, and so many people's lifestyles, and so many things that just aren't our life. Like, why would we not want to dive in? Why are we always just looking for people that look like us? Like, I'm constantly intrigued, you know, by someone who's interesting, someone who's inspiring, you know, and it doesn't always have to be a challenge to self, but just an understanding, and you may develop a respect for it. You may develop, you know, an appreciation for something that you never, I mean, you may want to go to the strip club and throw a couple dollars. I don't know. And I come from, you know, Charlotte, North Carolina, which in hindsight, I really didn't understand when I was there how conservative the city was. Like, it's truly, we're in the Bible Belt. So that has definitely been a part of shaping, you know, the way I've seen things. But just joy at the end of the day, and becoming more and more joy every single day. So, I don't know. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to say today. Just talk about Beyond the Pole. If you check it out, let me know. Shoot me a message. Um, absolutely. Absolutely. We are stronger together. And, you know, even in that show Beyond the Pole, like they also they also show and I talk about a number of things. You know, again, we are stronger together because there's also deeper reasons why some of these girls have gone into the fields they've gone into. People have been, you know, molested, abused, and let's be all the way 100. When you see a young lady like that, I immediately connect the young ladies that R. Kelly is associated with young ladies who make these choices. And again, that doesn't make them. It's not to judge them. It's to understand that a lot of women have been sexually assaulted. A lot of women have been through just terrible situations because women don't have the rights to choose. Remember? Remember? Like, we tend to be controlled, possessed, seen as property. And so, a lot of women, like, there are men who do kind of prey on women who are more insecure and women who are more damaged. And, we have to just start embracing these people. Hey, Miracle. We have to start embracing everybody and just stop judging, man. Judging is just, it's whack. It's late. It's late. You got a whole side of people who will validate and, get behind a Cardi B type who was a stripper. I mean, you get behind her when she made it, but you want to hate on her when she on the pole. Like, it just, come on. And then when she comes out and says what she had to do for money at one time, which is wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But you have to understand that this, what you see now doesn't change her past. What you see now does not change her past. And what's the point of glorifying something now if you're not going to get into the whole movement? And to me, just the ability to maintain your love for somebody unconditionally, support for them unconditionally, beyond finding out parts of them, that's why I always say, like, I'm just here for the healing. And if we don't really sit down, hey, Precious, if we don't really sit down and get ourselves a little more comfortable with dealing with the pain that people have been through, hearing it, because a lot of times the reason people don't want to hear is because it's triggering. It's triggering, or they don't want to see themselves that way. And the reality, again, is this shit exists. It's men out here that are my dad's age who will hit on me. It's who will go to a strip club. Like, again, these things exist. So let's just start, I don't know any other way to say it, but just kind of embracing them. I mean, yeah, that's why you will see me post a video of a girl twerking to a church song. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? You say come as you are. Right? Like, and even if that's something that offends you, then we have to start finding ways to chat about it, and discuss. Well, why did you do that? What does that mean? And then the conversations always bring healing. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here with stuff like Tea and Wild Thoughts, and as I continue to develop the Just Joy brand. And I'll be sharing just more videos, more thoughts, more ways to develop, our divinity. And hell, if your divinity is connected to twerking, then girl, I say go off. That's what you do. So, anywho, just a couple little wild thoughts. I got my little wild mug today. And, yeah, it's about 9 o'clock. So I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful Tuesday. And thank you for joining me and sharing some time and space with me this morning. And check out, like I said, Beyond the Pole. Also, very quickly before we go, I'm going to show you. This is my love spray. This is one of my products that I make. Oh my God. It smells so good, y'all. Precious, I know you got some. It has rose water, lavender, rose oil in it. It's got, this one is mine and it's a little old, so but it's got amethyst and rose quartz stones in the bottom. Yes. No, you the one that, we manifested this, so it must have been a vibe. And that's what so just to help people understand too, because I know a lot of people don't really understand my products, and that's fine. But I want you to. And so my products, like I say, are for the emotionally evolved. Precious is on here, 3 bottles to be exact, travel size, medium, and large. Right, travel sizes will be available on the site soon too. I have them, I just haven't had time to get them on the site. But yeah, the stones charge this so that you can bring love and vibrations into your life. A lot of people wear different types of stones. Amethyst and rose quartz are very popular for feelings of love. And so I want that into my product. And it smells amazing. The aromatherapy itself is going to just lift your vibration. And Precious can tell you, it will attract some things, honey. So even if you need it for self-love, if you need it to attract more love, this is the love spray. You can spray it in a room, you can spray it on yourself, you can spray it on your face. It's all natural. You can't go wrong. Okay. And I didn't say, but I am also diffusing right now one of my good friends' new products. He sent me an awesome sample, Love You Oils. So I definitely want you to try that. I'll do a little post for that one today. Love You Oils. This is the #1 blend, and it smells so freaking amazing. So, I sure will. I will twerk to a gospel song. But I'm gonna let her do it first, because she did it so much better. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't no hater at the end of the day. So go off, girl, go off. And again, I have this beautiful tea this morning. I have my incense going. I have my oils diffusing. I got my love spray. Like, this is what I mean by beauty, y'all. This is what I mean by making your life beautiful. Like, everything should be a part of that. Like, why not? Why not make everything a beautiful experience? And it has definitely been a beautiful experience chatting with you all this morning. Miss Precious and Miss Miracle, I hope that you all have an amazing, amazing day. I've definitely enjoyed your presence this morning. So, this is Tia Wild Thoughts. It's your girl, the beauty influencer, Just Joy Randall. Make you be the light on another level. Yeah! Come on and do my marketing. I still need a little testimony video or something, Precious. For real. I love it. And I love that you love it, honestly. And again, have an amazing day. Get all that self-love. All that self-love for the day. All right, y'all. Love you too. Love you too, Miracle. Peace.